Coffee's getting cold in the morning light, while the shadows of the hustle fade out of sight. The watch on my wrist is a heavy gold chain, counting the rhythm of the pleasure and pain. Every tick is a debt, every talk is a trade. In the velvet silence where the deals are made, you can't put a lock on a passing breeze or buy back the moments that you spent with ease. It's a quiet vibration, a cosmic exchange. The ledger of life is looking so strange. The vault is wide open, the silver is thin, wondering where the profit should end and begin. Time is money, baby, don't you waste a cent. In the hours of the dreaming and the way they were spent, it's the only currency that matters in the dark. The fire in the engine and the initial spark. Yeah, spend your seconds like a king on a throne before the final whistle sends you home alone. Is in the hustle, the jazz is in the flow, knowing when to hurry and when to go slow. An hour of love is a million in the bank. A moment of silence is a favor to thank. They're chasing the paper, they're chasing the shine, but they're losing the gold of the present line. Invest in the breath, invest in the beat before the sun sets on the city street. You know, we talk about making a living, but we forget that the living is made of seconds. You can work all night to fill the safe, but you can't walk into a store and buy back yesterday. Franklin knew the secret of the groove. Your hours are your capital, your minutes are your coins. Don't let them slip through your fingers like water. Spend them on something beautiful. Spend them on the funk. Don't you waste a cent in the hours of the dreaming and the way they were spent. It's the only currency that matters in the dark. The fire in the engine and the initial spark. In this lo-fi space, we found it all. Standing tall, the clock is the taxman, baby, let it roll. Time is gold, spend it wise. Tick, tick, tock. Tick, tock, tick. Walking down the neon street with heavy hearts and tired feet, looking for a grand design to cross the universal line. We're searching for the flags in the loud parade to fix the mess that the world has made. But the loudest thunder is just a sound, while the quiet magic is underground. It's a quiet vibration, shift in the air, A little bit of kindness in a world of despair. You don't need a podium, you don't need a floor to find what the spirit is looking for. Peace begins with a smile, baby, can't you see? A little bit of grace, a little chemistry. No need for the treaties, no need for the war. Just the light in the window and an open door. Yeah, it's the golden curve that sets us free. Peace begins with you. Peace begins with me. The funk is in the meeting, the jazz is in the eye. Underneath the purple and the velvet sky, a stranger passes by in the midnight blue, reflecting a version of the soul of you. 1 second of light, 1 moment of heat, washing the static off the lonely street. It's the simplest bridge that you'll ever build, leaving the empty spaces finally filled. You know, we make it so complicated. We think peace is a mountain we have to climb, a giant treaty we have to sign. But look at the way the lips curve, the little spark of recognition. It's a bridge built in a second, before a word is spoken, before a hand is held. There's a look, the understanding, the light. It doesn't take much to start a revolution of the heart. Just let it bloom. Smile, baby, can't you see? A little bit of grace, a little chemistry. No need for the treaties, no need for the war. No need for just a light in the window and an open door. Just a smile, just a smile. And there's a lo-fi space we find the awe, standing steady, standing tall. The golden curve, baby, let it roll. Peace begins with a smile. Just play. The brain is busy building cages of gold, following the stories that the textbooks told. It's counting every penny, it's measuring the light, trying to keep the shadows on the left and the right. It's got a blueprint for the how and the why, calculated answers for the stars in the sky. But the ink is dry and the paper is cold, while the pulse is singing something brave and bold. It's a quiet vibration, a glitch in the math, turning the traveler off the beaten path, where 2 + 2 starts to feel like a dream, and nothing is ever quite what it would seem. The heart has its reasons, a treason knows not, a secret hidden rhythm in the center of the plot. You can't map the fire, you can't weigh the soul. It's the beautiful logic that you can't control. Yeah, the mind is a compass, but the chest is the sea, dancing in the dark to a new geometry. funk is in the heat, the way the spirit moves on a syncopated beat. Reason says wait, reason says no, but the heart's already packed and ready to go. It speaks a language that the lips can't find, leaving all the maybe and the someday behind. It's not about the facts or the things you can prove, it's about the gravity and the way that you move. You know, we spend so much time trying to think our way through, trying to make it all make sense, like a puzzle where the pieces actually fit. But Pascal, he knew the secret of the groove. He knew that the smartest man in the room is still just a student of the pulse. The brain wants a map, but the heart just wants to walk. It has its own reasons, and honestly, reason isn't invited to that party. Which reason knows not a secret hidden rhythm in the center of the plot. You can't map the fire, you can't weigh the soul. It's the beautiful logic that you can't control. In this lo-fi space, we find the all standing steady, standing tall. The pulse is the master, baby. Everyone's playing for the easy score, keeping their feet on the familiar floor. They draw a line just an inch from the ground and celebrate the treasure they found. It's a comfortable room with a low flat roof, where nobody asks for the ultimate proof. They're safe in their sound in the middle of the day, while the colors of the miracle just fade away. It's a quiet vibration, a glitch in the heart, before you let the grand design fall apart. It's not the stumble that should make you afraid, it's the smallness of the plans that you made. The greater danger, baby, don't you see, isn't reaching for the stars and falling to your knees. It's setting the aim too low and hitting the mark, staying in the light because you're scared of the dark. Yeah, the tragedy isn't the almost or the near, it's succeeding at the things that you didn't even fear. The jazz is in the stretch, the funk is in the reach, learning what the heavy heights have to teach. If you hit every target, then the target's too close. You're drinking the water while you're needing the most. A beautiful failure is a master's design, compared to a victory that's perfectly fine. Don't be the king of a tiny flat hill when the mountain is waiting for a soulful will. You know, we're so terrified of coming up short. We're so scared of the not quite and the try again. But Michelangelo, he saw the real trap. The trap isn't the grand ambition that misses the moon. The trap is the small ambition that hits the dirt. We spend our lives succeeding at things that don't matter, patting ourselves on the back for winning a race we could run in our sleep. Don't be afraid to fail at something magnificent. Be terrified of succeeding at something mediocre. Raise the ceiling. Aim for the blue. Isn't reaching for the stars and falling to your knee. It's setting the aim too low and hitting the mark, staying in the light because you're scared of the dark. In this lo-fi space, we find it all standing steady, standing tall. The aim is the answer, baby. Let it roll. Set it high. Don't settle for the mark. Aim for the stars. Staring at the ceiling in the indigo light, searching for the reason that you can't sleep tight. You think it's the money, you think it's the career, you think it's the ghost of a lonely, quiet fear. But look at the friction, look at the spark that flies when two shadows meet in the dark. The weight on your chest isn't gravity's hand, it's the silence between you that you don't understand. It's a quiet vibration, a shift in the view between the I and the them and the you. Every knot in your stomach, every ache in your head is woven from words that were never quite said. All human problems, baby, don't you see? Our relationship problems in the first degree. The space between us is where the trouble grows, in the highs and the lows that the heartbeat knows. It's all interpersonal, the logic and the pain, the thread of the connection in the pouring rain. The jazz is in the judgment, the funk is in the pride, trying to find a place where the ego can hide. Ambition is just wanting to be seen by the rest, and fear is the weight of the socialized test. If you were alone on a star in the sky, there'd be no one to fail and no reason to lie. The mirror only hurts when there's someone behind, watching the patterns of a restless mind. You know, we like to think our struggles are ours alone. We call it my stress, my failure, my fate. But Adler, he saw the lines connecting the dots. Take away the other, and the problem disappears. We're all just looking for where we belong. We're all just reacting to the way we're being looked at. It's a dance, a messy, complicated dance. The friction isn't in you, it's in the space between you and the world. Fix the connection, and you fix the soul. Sitting here in the indigo gloom, one small flame in a quiet room, a lonely flicker, a steady heat while the world stays cold on the city street. I'm holding the light, but I'm not alone. It's a secret power I've always known. The wick is burning, the wax is low, but there's a magnificent way to grow. It's a quiet vibration, a pulse in the dark, connecting the soul to a holy spark. I reach for your hand, I reach for your heart. That's where the beautiful rhythm starts. Thousands of candles from a single light, chasing the shadows out of the night. The flame doesn't fade, it doesn't grow small by giving its warmth to one and all. Happiness flows like a river to the sea. The more you give, the more you're free. No, it never decreases, it only glows. That's how the garden of spirit grows. The funk is in the hand that reaches out. The jazz is in the silence, killing the doubt. I pass the glow to a neighbor's hand, watching the fire spread across the land. My own little candle burns just as bright, adding its strength to the collective light. It's a sophisticated, divine design where your joy is yours and also mine. You know, we're taught to hoard, to keep, to hide. We think if we give a piece away, we're left with nothing. But look at this flame. It doesn't lose a second of its life by lighting yours. It just makes the room a little brighter for both of us. Love isn't a pie with limited slices. It's a melody that gets louder every time someone joins in. Don't be afraid to share the spark. The world is waiting to burn bright. Thousands of candles from a single light, chasing the shadows out of the night. The flame doesn't fade, it doesn't grow small by giving its warmth to one and all. Happiness flows like a river to the sea. The more you give, the more you're free. And this low just shared the unending glow. They're chasing the paper, they're chasing the shine, counting the coins at the end of the line. But the markets are shifting, the silver gets cold, and the stories of profit are easily told. I'm turning the pages in the amber light, building a fortress in the middle of the night, while they're stacking the stones that the rain's gonna wear. I'm breathing in wisdom like a cool mountain air. It's a quiet vibration, a mental deposit, cleaning the dust out of every dark closet. The world is a gamble, a roll of the dice, but knowing the rhythm is worth every price. An investment in knowledge, baby, don't you see? Pays the best interest for you and for me. The currency of spirit, the wealth of the mind, is the only treasure that you're gonna find. Yeah, it grows in the silence, it grows in the dark. Compound wisdom from a single spark. Is in the learning, the jazz is in the brain, washing the static away like the rain. You can lose all the gold, you can lose every key, but you can't lose the person you've learned how to be. Information is power, but wisdom is gold, a beautiful logic that never gets old. In the bank of the soul, where the secrets are kept, the interest is rising while the city has slept. You know, we spend so much time worrying about the portfolio, the ROI, the bottom line, the physical gain. But Benjamin knew the real secret of the groove. You can lose your house, your car, your name, but what you put behind your eyes, that's yours forever. It's the only investment that doesn't crash. It just keeps building. Hide your soul, compound brilliance. Open a book, open your mind. cities high on a neon dream, chasing the gold and the silver steam. Everyone's running for the golden gate, drinking the nectar before it's too late. The volume is up, the fever is high. They're building their castles into the sky, but I'm leaning back in the velvet chair, smelling the tension in the midnight air. It's a quiet vibration, a glitch in the heat, watching the panic on the crowded street. When the bells are ringing more, that's when I'm heading for the exit door. Be fearful when the world is greedy, baby. Keep your head when the vibe is crazy, but be greedy when the world is shaking with fear. That's when the vision is crystal clear. Yeah, it's the inverse rhythm, the counter flow, knowing exactly when to stay and when to go. The jazz is in the silence, the funk is in the wait, watching the crowd seal their own dark fate. Now the lights are out and the streets are cold. They're selling the story they were once told. Fear is a fire that burns the weak, but it's the quiet opportunity that I seek. When they're running for cover and crying for rain, I'm buying the pleasure inside of their pain. You know, the crowd is like the tide. When it's high, they think they can touch the moon. When it's low, they think the ocean is gone forever. But the master stays in the middle. You gotta have the ice in your veins when the sun is too hot, and you gotta have the fire in your heart when the winter comes. Don't follow the noise, follow the gap. While they scream, you whisper. While they run, you dance. Crystal clear in this lo-fi space. We found the all, standing steady, standing tall. The contrarian soul, baby, let it roll. Be fearful, be greedy. The cycle turns. Searching through the gilded frames and city lights, counting all the diamonds in the velvet nights. We see the surface, we see the chrome, trying to find a meaning in an empty home. But the map you're holding is just a piece of ink. Before you find the rhythm, you gotta stop and think. The world is full of echoes and beauty beautiful glares, but we're missing the magic on the marble stairs. It's a quiet vibration, a pulse in the dark, looking for the spirit, not just the spark. The deepest water is never crystal clear until you listen to what you cannot hear. What is essential is invisible to the eye, baby, hidden in the heartbeat, hidden in the sigh, baby. You can't touch the magic, you can't weigh the soul. It's the unseen rhythm that makes the spirit whole. Yeah, pull back the curtain, let the vision go. The truth is in the feeling that the eyes don't know. The jazz is in the silence between the played notes. The funk is in the kindness that the heart promotes. A rose is just a flower until you give it time. A life is just a story until you make it rhyme. It's not the gold in the pocket or the watch on the wrist. It's the secret connection that exists in the mist. Close the window, turn out the light. Everything that matters is out of your sight. You know, we spend so much time looking for something big, something shiny, something we can show off. But the prince, he had the groove right from the start. The desert is beautiful because somewhere it hides a well. The stars are beautiful because of a flower we can't even see from here. Don't trust the lens, don't trust the glare. If you want to find the treasure, you gotta stop using your eyes. Look with your heart. That's where the real funk lives. On the table, ink in the jar, counting the miles but never leaving the car. A library of secrets tucked under your head, but the fire is cold and the rhythm is dead. You got the map and you've got the light, analyzing shadows in the middle of the night. But a theory is a ghost, a flickering sign, until you put your heart on the firing line. It's a quiet vibration, shift in the bone between the seed and the fruit that is grown. The mind is a palace, the mind is a king, but a silent bell doesn't know how to ring. Knowing is not enough, baby, we must apply. Stop looking for the how and the where and the why. Willing is not enough, we must do. Make the vision real and the movement true. Yeah, it's the kinetic truth, the physical grace of moving the spirit in the open space. living your dreams on the city street. Wishes are silver, but sweat is the gold. The story of someday is already old. You can want it like oxygen, want it like rain, but a wish is a passenger on a phantom train. Step out of the wish and step out of the will, and climb the mountain instead of the hill. You know, we spend so much time gathering the pieces, collecting the know-how, the data, the degrees. We think that being ready is the same as being done. But Bruce, he knew the secret of the groove. You can study the ocean for 100 years, but you'll never know the salt until you swim. Knowing is just a ghost without the application. Willing is just a shadow without the deed. Don't just think the note, play it. For the how and the where and the why. Willing is not enough, we must do. Make the vision real and the movement true. In this lo-fi space, we find the all standing steady, standing tall. The movement is the master, baby, let it roll. Is set and the numbers are thin. Watching the players in the games, they begin. They're chasing the lightning, they're chasing the heat, dancing on the edge of a cold city street. I'm sitting in the corner with the quiet eye, letting the noise and the rumors pass by. It's not about the mountain you're trying to climb, it's about the foundation you lay in the time. It's a quiet vibration, the logic so deep, waking the vision while the amateurs sleep. The ledger is open, the ink is dark, protecting the flame and the original spark. Rule number 1, never lose the goal. Keep the story from getting too bold. Rule number 2, don't you ever forget the first law of the game and the safety of the bet. Yeah, never lose the money, never lose the lead in the garden of the spirit, in the garden of the greed. The funk is in the patience, the jazz is in the hold, staying in the pocket and staying in the fold. They want the explosion, they want the grand show, but I'm watching the capital steadily grow. A dollar is a soldier, a minute is a friend. Don't send them to a battle that's got a bitter end. Preservation is beauty, discipline is grace, keeping your head in the middle of the race. You know, the world wants you to gamble. They want you to throw it all on red, to chase the hype, the trend, the next big thing. But the real groove, The real mastery, it's about keeping what you've built. It's about the defense. Warren knew the secret of the long game. It's simple, really. So simple that people forget. Don't lose the chips. 'Cause if you're out of the game, you can't play the music. Remember the rule, always. Let it roll. Never lose it. Don't forget the first law. Blueprints gathering dust on the mahogany shelf, waiting for a miracle to announce itself. 1,000 visions floating in a purple haze, lost in the map of the someday maze. You can analyze the wind and the turning tide, or keep the engine idling deep inside. But a parked car never won a golden race, and a silent piano is just an empty space. It's a quiet vibration, a spark in the soul. The moment you decide to take back control, beyond the theory and the why and the how, the only real currency is the right now. Action is the key, baby, the foundation stone. The only way the mystery is truly known. Unlock the door, let the rhythm break through. It's the foundational key to the dream come true. Yeah, it's the first beat, the movement, the spark that lights up the vision in the middle of the dark. The jazz is in the doing, the funk is in the stride, putting all the hollow hesitation aside. Success isn't a wish or a lucky star, it's the distance you travel from where you are. One brick on the ground and another one high, that's how the towers start to touch the sky. Don't tell me your plans, don't show me the scheme, show me the sweat that's fueling the dream. You know, we spend so much time preparing, polishing the tools, sharpening the pencils, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But Picasso, he knew the secret of the canvas. The masterpiece doesn't exist in your head, it exists in your hands. The thinking is the fog, but the doing is the sun. It's the bedrock, the base, the fundamental frequency. Without the action, the key never turns. Turn the key. Indigo shadows on the peeling paint. The silence is a whisper, becoming a complaint. You reach for the light, you reach for the door. Anything to stop the creaking of the floor. We're chasing the thunder, we're chasing the crowd. Anything to keep the music playing loud. 1,000 distractions in a digital glow, running from the secrets that we already know. It's a quiet vibration, a glitch in the race, the terrifying beauty of an empty space. The mirror is waiting, the shadows are long, but we're too busy humming the stranger's song. All the trouble in the world, baby, don't you see, stems from the struggle for the inner degree. It's the inability to stay, the inability to be, sitting quietly and oh, just you and the mystery. Yeah, the fire and the fever, the chaos and the groan, start with the man who can't sit still alone. The jazz is in the stillness, the funk is in the weight, but we're breaking down the walls of the Golden Gate. We build up the empires, we start up the wars, just to keep the spirit from behind those doors. If we sat in the quiet, if we sat in the dark, maybe we could find the original spark. But the room is a prison when the mind is a storm, so we run to the noise where the friction is warm. You know, we travel the world looking for answers. We climb the highest peaks and sail the widest seas. We create a whole lot of noise just to feel alive. But Pascal, he saw the truth in the indigo light. He knew that all of our problems, the wars, the greed, the endless chasing, they all come down to one simple, heavy thing. We're just scared of the silence. We're scared of the person sitting in that chair when the lights go out. The greatest journey isn't across the map. It's just staying right here, in this room, alone. For the inner degree, it's the inability to stay, the inability to be, sitting quietly in a room, just you and the mystery. Just sit still, yeah. Don't run away, don't run away, don't run away. In this lo-fi space, we find the old, standing steady, standing tall. Baby, let it roll. Just a room, just a room, just you, finally quiet. Just a room, just you, finally quiet. I was walking through the hazy light, searching for a spark in the middle of the night. A silent room, a heavy heart, wondering just where the miracle starts. We keep the secrets locked inside the chest, giving the spirit no time for the rest. But the universe is waiting still and wide for the noise of the hunger you're trying to hide. It's a quiet vibration, a glitch in the space, the look of the longing on a tired face. The echo is ready, the resonance is near, waiting for the words to be perfectly clear. Ask and it will be given to you, baby, can't you see? In this lo-fi world of pure discovery, seek and you will find. It's a matter of the soul, giving up the pieces to find the whole, yeah. The door is waiting for the sound of the hand across the water in the shifting sand. Funk is in the pursuit, the jazz is in the quest, putting the law of the harvest to the test. It's not a passive dream, it's a rhythmic stride, moving with the current and the pull of the tide. You gotta name the hunger, you gotta call the light, out of the shadows and into the sight. The mountain doesn't move for a heart that is still, it moves for the motion of a steady will. You know, we think the world is a closed book. We think the answers are buried under 1,000 years of dust. But the universe, it's an echo chamber. It doesn't initiate, it responds. It's waiting for you to make the first move, to ask the question, to look behind the curtain, to knock until your knuckles get a little sore. It's not about begging, it's about alignment. Ask, seek, find. It's the oldest rhythm in the book, and it still works.